Happy St. Patrick's Day. Here we go. It is Thursday the 17th of March. It is also my wife's birthday today.
Oh, happy
Let's not
birthday,
forget
Ruthie.
that. But I think St. Patrick's Day trumps what is going on. Now, in the studio now is Kevin Meagher. And Kevin is going to tell you the whole history behind St. Patrick's Day. Because, Kevin, I think we give permission for everybody to be Irish today. People like being Irish. They
do. It's a special dispensation for the whole world. It's the biggest festival of its kind in the world, anyway. And of course, when you look at the Irish diaspora around the world, there's about 80 million people around the world.
The diaspora
Irish.
I know what a diaspora means.
I'm just telling you. I'm just saying.
It's not just related to the Irish. Lots of other people have a diaspora.
I know, but our diaspora. Do you know? I'll tell you this, but you don't know this, right? There's 66 million people. In where?
Somewhere.
In the UK.
Right.
Right. Do you know how many of them are of Irish descent?
How many?
40 million.
Shush.
Shush, I'm telling you.
No.
So
is that true? I'm going to ask.
That's probably true. If you go back a few generations, definitely.
Absolutely right.
That's because they have so many kids.
Probably.
Anyway, let's not go.
Probably. But yes, sorry, Kevin.
Sorry.
Not at all. So there's 80 million people around the world anyway that have got clear kind of Irish roots, and these are the obvious people that you might look at a Joe Biden or somebody like that that's 3 or 4 generations back, but he's very quintessentially Irish in his ways. But I mean, it's also figures in history like, Muhammad Ali, Che Guevara, people like that.
What Muhammad Ali, Ireland? Tell me what that's about.
His great grandfather was an Irishman and came over, and Muhammad Ali often spoke about his Irish connections.
All a bit of everything. Come on, what is it about? Why do people really latch on to their Irish heritage? It's like, I'm one little 16th Irish, and they love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, my husband's got lots of Irish ancestry, but they go on and on about it.
It's with people who remember the past very well, and of course
sentimental.
Well, St. Patrick's Day's been it's a bat signal once a year to the Irish around the world, really, for people to kind of connect and touch back in with their heritage.
Assemble.
It is, yeah.
That heritage will be in lots of places that you don't know. Tell people about the Black Irish in the West Indies.
It's a feast day, St. Patrick's Day, obviously in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, Newfoundland as well. It's a public holiday, but it is as well in the island of Montserrat, in the Caribbean as well, and that dates back to the kind of Cromwellian purges of the Irish, 500 years ago, where the Irish some of them were effectively sold as indentured labourers, or what we would term today modern-day slavery, basically, and we're pushed over to the Caribbean. And there's people there with very clear Irish antecedents. And until a couple of generations ago, you would have had people in Montserrat that would have, Irish would have been the first language. So it's an extraordinary tale.
Irish would have been a first language.
Absolutely. They would speak Irish with an Irish accent.
And they would have Irish names.
Yes.
Things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So on St. Patrick's Day, as you say, everybody wants to be a little bit Irish, and you let them on this day. Tell me what the particular symbols are associated with Ireland. I mean, why do we think of shamrocks and leprechauns and
shillelaghs,
4-leaf clovers?
Four-leaf clovers, a shamrock.
Oh, sorry, is it?
Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Absolutely. The story goes that St. Patrick, who was captured by Irish raiders and brought to Ireland as a slave, later came back and as a priest and a bishop and converted the pagan Irish to Christianity. And the story goes that, and it is a story, but that the shamrock, the 3 leaves of the shamrock, 3 in 1, was how he sort of won the Irish over to the concept of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So it's as I say, with people of the past who've got a very rich history and know that history. So St. Patrick's Day is a chance to celebrate the heritage, and it's been more important to people outside of Ireland that have perhaps emigrated and lost connection with family and country. It's a chance to reconnect. It's an AGM for the global Irish, basically, which is why it's been a bigger thing in America and even in Britain than it has even necessarily in Ireland.
I remember you calling me on St. Patrick's Day years ago from New York.
Yeah.
And they turned the Hudson green.
Yeah.
They turned the river green.
Yeah, it was very cold, very, very cold that day. But I was heavily influenced by my father, who, as a working man, never worked on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So that was the national holiday. It was a day off. I mean, lots of people break it, but it meant something. And as children, we would have the day off school
We don't do that on St George's Day, do we?
Well, I don't think you enjoy it as much as we do, but we had a tradition and a routine, and which involved Mass at 11 o'clock and being blessed with this St Patrick's relic. There was a bone of St Patrick's.
Oh, right, lovely.
And lovely.
Yeah,
always a bit of morbidity to it. But, and the shamrock, the symbol of the shamrock is very important, and this insistence on what we term drowning the shamrock. Tell people about that.
This is about putting it's something I'm not desperately familiar with, but this is putting whiskey
Basically, just means you get drunk.
It is, and potentially drinking the shamrock as well,
and you
throwing
get
it over your shoulder.
Because here we are in Lent, and a lot of people give up alcohol for Lent. I know you haven't, Isabel, but
I actually have given it up midweek, but
you're allowed a day of dispensation
on St Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Well, you're not unless you're Irish, so that's interesting.
But you know me, you can get in there, you can do that. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Well, look, how will you be celebrating today?
Well, I'm working all day, unfortunately.
Let's Guinness tonight.
Let's put it this way: I won't be up at this time tomorrow morning.
Yes, fair enough. OK, so tonight will be the big one. Kevin Marr, absolutely delightful to talk to you, author and commentator on British and Irish politics, and it's been an Irish off. I knew it would be.
Yeah, well,
learned a lot. 40 million.
I agree with you that our National Day means a lot to us, and it brings us together around the world, in the country of Ireland, everywhere. And I just wish more people. I'm happy, if the Maltese have a certain day, I'd love to be that. That's fine. If the South Americans... It's
Australia Day, isn't there?
Yeah, I just think people's national days are absolutely fantastic, and we should celebrate and enjoy more often.
Any chance to have a bank holiday and time off?